Drift. This is the special 106th episode of the show. My friend and I here, we've done Kino Drift maybe 2 or 3 episodes. Thousands of people haven't listened to it. But we're going to be talking about, pretty much the movies that released this year that we've seen. And maybe a little bit of little drips and drabs from 2024. It's been a very strange year, of course, that we're not going to get into, because that's a complete episode of its own. But I think that I'm surprised at how many new movies I've seen this year. And I was fascinated that some of them were actually good. Not that I've...
Totally.
What have you been thinking about the movies that you've seen this year so far? How have you been feeling about them?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've been pretty surprised pleasantly because they've been pretty much all good. Like, when I go to the movies a lot, when you go to the movies a lot, when anybody goes, there's more of a high probability that you're gonna watch kind of a stinker or something that like really disappoints you.
You're not into the whole crowd element? I am. That makes the movie better, or no? That doesn't factor in at all, does it? Oh, okay.
I think it does. It does. It definitely does. I feel like that's part. That's the big part of that's that big element of going to the movies. It's not just the big screen and that helps too, and the sound and all that stuff. But I think it's also the fact that you're there with other people. It just depends on what type of crowd it is. Like sometimes it could be an annoying crowd or like people around you. But like if generally the fact that there's a crowd and the movie's good and people get into it, then all that other stuff goes to the wayside. Like people just get into the movie. So I really love that aspect of it. But yeah, it's been a good year so far. I mean, pretty much every movie I've liked, and a lot of them I've loved, and so pretty happy.
But before we move on, do you remember like the greatest movie experience you've had, like with a crowd?
In my life?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Was there one title where you were like, I remember that, like, I remember certain things that people laughed at, like the whole experience, like I could think of times like when I saw the Blair Witch Projects and stuff like that. I have one in particular that I thought was like the greatest film. Not film. It's not the greatest film, but it's a great film for me. But the experiences I saw, it sounds funny. Yeah. Tales from the Hood, and I saw it. I saw it in the Boogie Down Bronx with a primarily African American crowd, and it was the greatest thing ever, dude. Yeah. Even like the trailers for the other movies. It was like I think there was a movie called The Show, which was like a concert movie with like Biggie and Tupac.
Oh yeah, I remember that movie.
If you heard what the audience was saying, brother, it was the greatest. It really was just the greatest. But I love experiences like that.
Me too.
I haven't had that recently in crowded films, because like films now are so like everybody's like busy watching streaming, so a lot of people are just jaded with cinema. So, and I assume you've had a lot of experiences. Like I could have guessed, was it like a James Cameron film or something like that? Or
definitely Titanic.
Yeah, that was a great one too.
But I saw it 5 times, so I think I think it was the first time I saw it because it was such a like new experience. Like, imagine seeing Titanic for the first time and not even knowing what the movie's going to be about. Like, it's about, but you don't know like the details and stuff. That was one of them. The Matrix,
of course,
was another one, and I saw that with a mainly, like you said, African American crowd.
By the way, anybody listening, we're not 2 white guys talking about African American. We're like Latinos, so we're so.
Then I think for me, that those 2 stand out, but I have to think about it a little bit more. But to be honest, this year I had like 2 or 3 movies that
Weapons for sure. I would assume
Weapons was one. Weapons was one. Eddington was one.
Really?
Another one. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people were laughing and like
I want to talk
commenting.
About that one,
And then what was the other one? Weapons was definitely one. I have to think about the other one. Was it Sinners? I think Sinners a little bit, but I think more people were like into that movie, like watching it instead of reacting.
Right.
But yeah, definitely those 2 films.
Okay, so do you have a list of the movies that you saw, or you just want to kind of go off on?
Yeah, let's just go off.
Because I think we were gonna have primarily talk about highest to lowest, and we will. But we saw a lot of movies.
We need to talk.
We rarely talk movies lately. at least recorded them. So why don't we start off with Weapons? Like, what did you? This was a movie that was very much hyped because everybody, horror movies always make bank, regardless of besides like I guess The Strangers. It's so funny because The Strangers, the remake that John DeBont made, and the second one is coming out, and it's like it's deadlier, and I'm like, bro, I remember people saying this was the worst movie of the year that it came out. Like, well, you can't fool me, Those people saw that movie and they know it stinks. Why would they come back for the second film? But whatever. Anyway, Weapons. This was a super hyped film because it was from the director of Barbarian, a movie that that incredibly it won me over like easily because just the way that it was done, and especially because I thought watching it, I was like, I wasn't really into what the creature. I don't want to spoil it, but the creature feature that it kind of had. But everything around it made it work, especially like the character. It gave you a character element that was not necessarily normal for films in general. Like a person that you're supposed to root for, and you end up not rooting for them. But I thought that was such an interesting way that Justin Long played the character. Because you I ended up thinking the guy was a piece of crap. Like he's a piece of crap from the beginning of the film, but I thought it was one of those films where a character you think they're gonna redeem themselves from an irredeemable place, and then it's just like,
and they don't,
and they don't. So anyway, Zach Kreger, obviously he was from the Whitest Kids, the sketch comedy group, and this is his second feature, right? Oh no, I think it's his third feature. I saw that he had done a film with one of the guys that actually passed away from that group, which Weapons. Weapons is based on some of his grief about losing that guy. I feel bad I forget the guy's name, but he's like everybody knows who that guy is. And that movie was about like two guys. I think it was called Miss July or Miss September. It was about a guy who finds out his ex-girlfriend is a Playboy playmate, and it's like it's the worst trailer. It's like just like so. It's just horrible. It's like when you expect to see like a national, like how National Lampoon movies are now. That's what it looked like, and I was like, "Who the hell's gonna watch this?" But anyway, he obviously fixed his deal, and now he's done Weapons. And why don't we get into a little bit of Weapons and why do you think it worked for you?
Yeah, I think the thing that worked for this movie and as well as Barbarian is the way he tells the story. Right. That's the most important thing. Like, yes, the concept, is good. The characters, but it's just the way he tells the story. Like he did the same thing with Barbarian. He does these things where he cuts to other things happening, like other elements of the story, and you kind of forget about one part of the story, and then it comes back in. And he kind of does that with this, although he did more of a Rashomon type of thing, where he's like showing each character and each perspective, and then we always come back to it and tie everything together. Yeah. So I think that's his biggest strength, and the fact that like I think he could do this with any film, but the fact that he chose the genre of horror, to do it, and then he like pushes the limits too. I think he's really good at doing creepiness. Yeah. And then also the way he just structures his stories, and also the visual elements of like how he directs, how the shots. Like he's doing things that are they keep you interested. That's the problem with a lot of horror films is like if they're not done well, that you lose interest or they're not as effective. And I think the thing that he does well is that he just knows how to tell a story visually, and then he puts in all those other elements and they all work. You know what I mean? So I think that's his biggest strength is like the way he tells his stories. Right. So that's what he did with this one.
And the beautiful thing about horror is that it's so malleable as a genre that you can do anything with it.
Yeah.
And like, cause I'm not like a particular fan of like slashers, but if I see a fun one, I'll enjoy it. I haven't seen one the last one I think that I really enjoyed was this one called Dream Home from China. It was like a Hong Kong. It was like one of the last like, because like whatever's going on with China now and Hong Kong, because I'm not even gonna get into that. But that was like one of the last what they called Cat 3, which were like the hardcore like gore. That's like the type of like Evil Dead kind of stuff. And like I like that because that was like really well done, but I haven't seen any slasher. But then you see Weapons, and it's just like a really well made, and like it felt like a film. And I'm one of those type of people now that it's like I'll kind of judge a film on how it feels I won't judge it like as I'll discredit or be like, oh, like who the hell am I to say anything about that? But I'll watch a film and be like, oh, I could see that in streaming. You know what I mean? It's like how films are now and how they're so edited in a way and how they look, and you can tell with the cheapness of it. Like you can tell the director was like phoning it in sometimes. So it's like I saw a film that I saw. I don't know if I'll get into it, but I saw The Amateur, which was a remake. I didn't even know it was a remake of a 1981 film, and it stars the guy who played Freddie Mercury. I forget the guy's name. And I watched it, and I was like, I enjoyed it, But I was like, this could have been an episode of like The Americans. It could have been an episode of a show on FX. Like there was nothing in it that stood out to me because television has gotten, so good. That you're like, wow, I could just watch this at home. So the thing with Weapons has more than the average, cinema going experience as of late. Yeah. And that's why I think people really, had a good time.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's elevated. And that's what I mean. Like he's doing a lot of visual ideas that suck you in, like a lot of long following people from behind and then revealing stuff, like turning the camera and then like rack focusing, and like when you watch a lot of horror films, they don't do that stuff. They're just more worried about like trying to do shock stuff and like gore, but he's actually there's craft in it.
It's a beautifully paced film.
And once the craft is there, it's like that elevates it to another thing. Like this could be any type of movie, this could be any genre, it could be a drama too, but the fact that he's doing that for a horror film is just making it way more interesting to watch, and it's like it keeps you going, you know what I mean?
And the whole cast is great in it. Julia Garner, Josh Brolin, Alden Ehrenreich, like everybody stood out. Even though the little boy who's in it, and he's
he was good.
Because when I was looking at that kid, I was like, who does he remind me of? He reminded me of Will Wheaton in that Stephen King adaptation. Right? That's who he reminded me of. I was like, this kid's a good actor too. Like everybody's good. And I remember hearing like he's gonna do the next like Resident Evil, and I'm like, why is he like what like. Video game movies don't have a good, track record. And he's like, well, it's going to be an original film. Then I was like, why isn't he just doing the film based on the game? Like, one of those games that had come out. And then I was like, you know what? This guy's Weapons was so good. Like, what does it matter? He's going to make a good film, I hope. And I assume he's going to make a good film because this one is so well done. The villain in this is great because, like, automatically when I saw when I saw Longlegs, like, I thought it was fine. I like that director a lot, Oz Perkins, and I was like, but there was just something missing from it. To me, it felt like I enjoyed it. It's going to sound like nitpicking, but I felt like it was obviously a remake of like The Silence of the Lambs. It was, or it was certainly like it was certainly paced by it. And so when I saw the villain in that, and when I saw Longlegs in that, I thought of the aunts in this one, and I was like, oh yeah, like I'm glad that they're getting a little bit more.
She was so good as a character, when she's introduced, and then it's like she becomes, the main villain. And you're like, damn, like this is an amazing main villain.
That's
like
Amy
she's
Maddox.
Scary. She's fucking. She's just creepy. I wouldn't want to be around her. I'd be so scared if I was that kid.
That was Amy Madigan playing Gladys. Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is just a great villain. It's a great villain. It's like you don't see that very often. Like you said, Longlegs was just too like abstract for me, man. It was just like I get what he was trying to do with the tension and like the mood, but like again, put what Zach Greger did with this into Longlegs, and that would be a much better film. Right. Like I felt like it was too start and stop. You know what I mean? It was like it just didn't have that pacing.
Okay.
And it was trying to be a little bit too weird, and it's like he put it more in a general audience kind of mode where anybody can get into this film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like Longlegs is a little bit of a more like obscure film. Like some people will like it. They're like kind of like weirder films, but not long. I mean, Weapons was more of like a general audience type of film.
Yeah,
but it delivered on everything.
Yeah, because with Oz Perkins, I still enjoy him. Like, this is a guy who never even shot a short film, apparently. Like, because his father was obviously the actor, the main guy from Psycho. Anthony Perkins.
Anthony Perkins.
And he just got into his first film, and his I think his first film was like the I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in This whatever this house. It's like a haunted house movie, and it's a strange movie, but I liked it. And then he obviously did he did the Gretel and Hansel film, which I thought was great. Like to me, that was like that stands up with like The Witch. I kind of liked it better more than The Witch, but people like get angry about that. But anyway, but then I saw The Monkey, and I was like, The Monkey was all right, but it wasn't the film that I thought it was going to be. Like they sold it like Final Destination, but it was like you could see that whole film in a half an hour in Final Destination. Do you know what I mean?
The kills weren't that good, man.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
They were good, but they were so quick.
Yeah.
It was like, come on.
Yeah. But back with this, I mean, Austin Abrams, who plays James, the drug addict guy, he was great. I mean, Benedict Wong, who you see him as Wong in the Marvel movies. And I'm like, Wong? They just didn't change his name for the movie. I know. he plays Marcus in this, and he's like that principal who's like the very nice guy, and then he turns into this. Because when I remember seeing that in the trailer, I'm like, why are they showing this guy, You see him like this guy's eyeballs are bulging out. Like he's like, why are they spoiling this? But then when you watch the film, you're like, it's even more than that. It's just like
it's more.
It's just like Jesus. It's like
and I just rewatched this movie recently. Like I think was it last week? I rewatched it last week again. I was like, it's still effective.
It's
still effective.
It's an effective film. Alden Ehrenreich was great.
I loved his performance in this.
Yeah, and
his performance was amazing.
His look was based on a character from Magnolia. The whole film structure is basically based on.
But that's the thing is like he can put all these like homages into the film, and it's like it doesn't even like maybe you pick it up, maybe you don't, but it's not like it's so like obvious that you're like, oh, that's from Boogie Nights or that's from Magnolia. It's like I like films like that they still take influence from other films, put it in their film, but you can't tell.
Right.
It's because their concept and the way they're doing the film is so like unique that it just hides it. You know what I mean?
And Julia Garner's so great in this. I tell you, when I because obviously you and I, we both saw Ozark for the longest time with the fantastic ending, right? It was the greatest ending of any television story. But anyway, this girl's so good that I thought she had a southern accent for real, just because I'm stupid and I don't pay attention. But I had forgotten she was in Sin City and stuff like that. She still looks like she hasn't aged. She looks like a young woman. And obviously I was like, just put her in, because I know she was gonna do that. She was circling that Madonna film. She's like the one that they want for a Madonna biopic. And but the unfortunate thing is Madonna's supposed to direct it, and I'm like, uh-oh. But anyway, and Josh Brolin is great in this too. Like that guy could do anything. He's just so good in it. And I know it was supposed to be Pedro Pascal originally, and it would have been interesting. People like hate Pedro Pascal. I think he does a great job personally.
Me too.
But because people complain about they see him too much, and I'm like, well, that's you people on the internet talking about him. You know what I mean? Like, this movie had such a good, and the thing is, it's a film that rewards you with a cathartic ending. Because that ending when the kids go berserk and they chase him, I was like, it's and Kreger says like he admits there's a Raising Arizona because there's a scene where dogs chase and he's like, that's absolutely.
He said it was that he was the chase,
so he knows where to pick and choose, but still create something that's wholly original feeling at least, and just that ending alone where the kids are going berserk and chasing this witch, and I can't believe these people I saw a review today that said the movie's still overhyped because I don't understand, there was no point for why she did this, and I was like, are you like, I can't understand why people.
But she tells you in the movie.
It's very obvious she's dying of some sort of cancer or something.
And she's like the parents. Your parents, the parents weren't enough.
She's a parasite.
She's trying to take the energy from the parents or whatever, and she's like, that's not enough. I need more. I need younger. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of the thing. It's very clearly
a parasitic, entity, this woman. And the fact that people still can't get it makes me... it's not surprising. It's not surprising in this day and age and in this country,
and then we also know that she's old. She's very old because she uses like some old terminology, and we know that she's kind of ancient in a way. Not super ancient, but she's been around for a while.
Yeah, so I think I think that's the most we can get about that about weapons. I thought it was great. Moving along, any other films that you thought were that you did see that you were just like whatever?
That were whatever this year. Let me see. in
Did you watch the new Superman reboot?
I did.
What did you think about that? After all this comparison,
that could be one that's whatever.
I think so too. I think because I mean, obviously there's the Snyder Bros, or the people that love Snyder's film, and there was just a constant barrage up until the movie came out. It's still coming out because people are like, oh, this isn't the real Superman. The real Superman has to It's just so funny when people actually point out. I don't remember hating Man of Steel. I actually thought it was fine.
I mean,
hold your bile, don't vomit.
The first half of that film is good, but it just falls off the rails after that.
I get it,
and I just didn't like the way his character was. Maybe I'm too used. Maybe I grew up with the Christopher Reeve Superman, so I'm that's what I think of. But also that's I know they have dark versions of him in the comic too. So it's I can't really criticize it too much.
Where he fllips out and kills everybody.
So maybe that's the take he wanted to do. But I still feel I never felt beyond that first half of Man of Steel that Superman ever really became the Superman that he should be.
Which apparently the actor felt the same way. The Henry
until
said that,
the Snyder cut one. When they resurrect him in that version and he comes back, there's a little moment there that he's Superman again.
Yeah,
but that's about it.
Yeah, because they were showing some scenes where in this one I was so moved when Superman saves a squirrel from getting crushed, and then they'll show the scene of Superman in a courtroom and it explodes and he just sits there and he's and he's just looking outside.
It's so whack.
So with this, but with this Superman, it's basically what you'd expect from James Gunn. I don't think he disappoints with superhero material, in a bad way, in a monumentous way. I don't think he disrespects the medium, but obviously visually it's completely different. You look at Man of Steel, the look of it, I'm like, wow, this is a gorgeous looking film, but you're you can't do James Gunn's movie like that.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of even looking at it the same way. But with Gunn's, what do you think were the flaws of it that kind of doesn't make
it just wasn't as strong as his other films.
Okay.
It's just
Guardians 3, you don't
any of his Guardians films, even the second one, which I like. Mm-hmm. I know people think it's the weakest. That was better than this.
Okay.
His Suicide Squad was way better than this. It was emotional. This one I felt like he was trying to top himself. It just had too many of his James Gunn isms, like the music cues and the music drops, the needle drops, and I don't think that this movie needed that. It still could have been James Gunn's style, but it just he was trying too hard. He tried too hard. There was too many tone shifts. There wasn't time for real drama. Okay. It was just always cut with some sort of comedic moment, right. And I'm it was too much. He overdid himself.
You think he was playing for the crowd in his mind?
Yeah, he was playing for the crowd because he's oh man, they've been giving this dark Superman for so long. Now I have to give him, the happy Superman. You know what I mean? Right. Or the uplifting one. And I'm and the fact that they even used the Superman theme, I didn't like that either.
Oh, okay.
I
gotta say, I like the Man of Steel theme. I think that's a great theme.
Me too.
I love that theme, and I'm why
I love that theme
because then what they're doing is it makes me think of when Joss Whedon took over the
oh god,
what a horrible movie, the Justice League film that he did compared to the director's cut, which was way better. But when Batman showed up and then you hear the theme from '89, I'm what the hell is this? I'm what are you doing this? And it was obviously hey kids, remember this? It was that that was a little bit in here, but I think I think it was some reverence for the original.
It was used better here. I'll say that. Right. I'll say that. But don't use it. Just come up with a new theme.
Yeah.
Try that.
Because I think what happens is that, we were speaking before about Netflix and stuff, this felt like it was a Superman TV show. We watched we saw it put on screen. You know what I mean? With the whole Justice Gang and all that stuff. It I know. Yeah, well, what can you do? But then again,
and also
go ahead.
It also felt like a setup movie too.
Yeah.
There was no I like the fact that it doesn't touch his origin and just starts in the middle of him already existing and people knowing about this, because obviously they want to start a whole universe, a new universe with this. But like, I felt like this was also just a introduction film, and they didn't really have a set story. You know what I mean? So yeah, it wasn't.
What'd you think about
bad,
the change of his parents? Like they took from Invincible, and which Invincible took from Dragon Ball Z, of the parents saying you got to take over this planet.
It was fine. I didn't have an issue with that.
Okay. Yeah, it's a small thing. I
like Lex Luthor in this.
Yeah, he's very.
I like that.
I
liked his whole team.
Yeah, I appreciated that Lex was a complete asshole in this. Like he was an asshole in the Snyder film, but and I didn't have a problem with Jesse. I actually like Jesse Eisenberg as an actor. And I had fun because they said that was Lex's son, so that's why the whole deal was. But in yeah, sure. But in this, like, I appreciated that Superman was getting his shit pushed in basically because you knew by the end of the film he was just gonna completely, and I appreciated the fighting that he did in the film, like when spinning around using one girl to beat the crap out of somebody else. But I had a good time with it, but I completely understand what you're saying, because it was just like it felt like another entry. And Gunn is good at what he does, which is, I guess, entertaining a crowd. Because after this, I was like, let me watch Peacemaker, and I've been watching the series. I'm not going to spoil anything about that. But I find it really entertaining. I was like, wow. Because if you watch The Suicide Squad and you enjoy that, not that first Suicide Squad movie, but it's really good. Like because I know
it's like a continuation of that.
Yeah, and it's good. It's very, very good. And I'm like, damn. And the guy John Cena is really good in it. I'm like, he's playing him to his strength, so he knows how to direct like a wrestler as an actor. You know what I mean? But anyway, any final words on the Superman film, the remake?
No, I mean
that's it for you.
It was good. It was enjoyable. I didn't hate it when I walked out. I was like, yeah, this is good. But I did hate the end credit sequences.
Yeah, I think he was. I think that's his style
they just sucked, bro.
That was his style of humor. I cursed that Marvel created that after credits thing, because it's just like I think that that whole end credits thing is just like you gotta stop.
Play it out.
Yeah, it's played out to just enough. And I think people.
I like the way Sinners did it, where it was like
that's fine because it's ending the story. There's not going to be.
It's still part of the story. It's still part of the story. Like, what I hate is when it's just like it has nothing to do with the movie you just watched.
Why don't we hop right into Sinners? So let's get into Sinners. What'd you think about Sinners?
I loved it, bro. Okay. I loved it, and I still love it.
Well,
and again, it's not a flawless film. It's not like flawless. It has flaws. It does.
Okay.
But it just, what it's trying to do just overcomes it. And for the most part, like 95% of it is amazing. Yeah, it's like From Dusk Till Dawn, but a lot of the kids today,
they don't remember
maybe they don't even know what that is. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or like they don't even put that together.
The only thing kids know of that movie is like Tarantino sucking on her foot, because they play the GIF over online over and over.
Right. But other than that, it was just the way it was done. The story. They had just the way the vampires, what they were doing, like their whole, like they were kind of. They were the villains, but then they also had a good point of what they were doing, and then it dealt with like the South and the twin thing. It was okay.
Was it
it's not something that I loved. What's up?
Was it necessary? You think they could have just had another actor?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't necessary.
You think they could?
I don't know why they didn't
hire the actor. What's his name? The one that got in trouble. They could have just given him a bone. Or something. That movie would have been right to video.
Yeah, but, I don't know. Even though now I can't see it without them being brothers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But maybe they could have just been brothers and not have to be twins.
It was a cute sort of special effect, but I don't think it really serviced the story in any other way.
It didn't service the story.
Because it wasn't like, I didn't know it was you. I thought it was somebody else. It wasn't like that. Like, it wasn't that important to the storyline.
And also, I felt like they weren't different enough character-wise.
No, they weren't. They were just kind of like smug guys.
They were too, like, you could tell, like, one of them was a little bit more, like, caring, or, like, one of them was a little bit more darker than the other, but it still didn't come through 100%. Yeah. And so I'm like, nah, if you want to do that, you got to play it really strong, and, like, you got to really show, like, they're two different people. But overall, like the visuals of this movie, the shots, the way it's done, the music is amazing. The performances. Yeah. I mean, the score and the music in the film, like the actual, blues music, but the score is amazing. It's just one of those crowd pleasing movies. It has like those really great moments that you want to rewatch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a sequence that I thought that like elevated the movie as soon as I saw it, which was like the history of music.
Scene. Yeah.
When it's just like a one-er. It's not really. It's obviously done digitally. Like Ryan Coogler just does a scene where the camera's like floating around the place where one band is like performing, and then you'll see like traditional like African music, and then like rock and roll from like the old school rock and roll,
and also like hip hop.
Yeah, and then there was like traditional Chinese music playing, and I was like, oh my! And it was like people.
Although I've seen people talk shit about this scene too.
Really,
but I loved it. Yeah,
I thought it was fantastic. I thought it like elevated the film for me. I was like, for me, like that scene alone showed that like Coogler knows what he's doing, because I was not a fan of the second I didn't hate it, but the second Black Panther movie, because what Marvel did is like they honored obviously Chadwick Boseman. I think they should have just recasted that, because what they did is they just put themselves, because they want to be so,
they killed them.
Yeah, they put it in such a like a binding sense of storylines that it was like, we got to kill him because Chadwick Boseman. It's like I don't think like recasting him would have been so offensive. I get people would get hurt by it, but it's just too weird. But I didn't like that movie that much because it was like the sister, and I was like, I don't want to see her as Black Panther. She is in the comic, but her character is like whatever. But anyway, I think Ryan Coogler with this, I was like, okay, yeah, he is like the real deal. Because even when I saw Creed back in the day, I was like, damn, Creed was good.
Yeah, Creed is good.
I didn't see the other two Creed films, but like I still remember watching that in a theater because like I was like, this is great. And then I remember Stallone forgetting them when he won his his award. He's like, I'm glad I did everything. I don't know who else worked on it. I was just like, geez, he really forgot to thank the two guys that basically helped them back. But anyway, with Sinners, I mean, it's a beautiful looking film. What you and I talked about, it was like, what was the deal with them? Is the vampire them? Is the vampire taking over their soul?
As far as like, it's hard to tell, because I know that the main vampire wants the young kid, right? He's like, we need you, right?
For the music, right?
Because the music helps. That's the one thing that I really didn't like. It didn't connect as far as like what was his total reasoning. You know what I mean? What he wanted.
I guess it's a way to enchant people. The music, like you listen to music and then you just. That was so funny when I was watching that. I thought of the Candyman remake, the one that you love so much, because it sort of had a similar opening. But anyway,
that was a bad film.
So that's why, because I think of there was a TV series called Buffy the Vampire Slayer that was like really well done back then by Joss Whedon.
Yeah,
and the vampires in that is basically the human part of you goes to sleep. Your soul is like in some sort of purgatory while a demon is in your body, basically. So that's what I was like, is that what's going on here? Because like they'll show those two the Michael B. Jordan's character. I don't know if it was Smoke or was it Smoke, or he was
Stack.
He was with the girl at the end, who did a great job. What the hell is her name? Haley Steinfeld. It's gorgeous girl. She's also great in the Marvel series Hawkeye. But they're together at the end, and they're all dressed up like in 80s like hip hop fashion. And I was like, but are these the because everybody's gonna look at it and be like, oh, that's cool, they survived. But I was like, is it them? Like, did they just become assholes? Like, what's the like? If you become a vampire, like, are you just an asshole? That's what it is. Like,
yeah, because they do change their persona when they become vampires. Like, they're not the same people.
Yeah, so I'm just
wondering. They're not, and they also they bring on powers. Obviously that's the vampire lore. That the vampires always have like these special powers, like they can read minds or whatever. But they also did change persona too. They weren't the same.
Yeah, that's what I
like the husband, the Asian husband, was different. He was definitely different. And the brother was too. And so yeah, maybe it's because then she also spoke. It had to do a little bit with like. I guess witchcraft. You know, that his wife, Smoker Stack's wife, that she was into the whole like, you know, what is it called? I guess it's called witchcraft, right?
Voodoo?
That she had like the voodoo, exactly, voodoo. That she had like the thing that he wore, and that actually affected the vampire, because remember his brother was trying to bite his neck, and he had the little thing, he was wearing it, and he couldn't bite him because
it like
that's
partially garlic or something, or
I think it was garlic with something else though. It had like she put in some other things in there. Okay. That was like that protected him, like when he went to war. She was like, the reason you're here is because I gave you this, because he didn't believe it. Right. You know, the husband didn't believe it. So it was like a mixture of a bunch of different things, like myths and stuff, put into like a vampire story. You know what I mean? But they didn't really go into it too much.
Yeah, because I think a lot of for a lot of horror films, like I think they. Like the last one that I remember that was sort of blended, like where a real person with a vampire maybe might have been the Lost Boys from back then. Like I think they were still the same person, but like they weren't like that's more of a like why am I forgetting her name? Anne Rice sort of vampire. Like they still have a human element to them, but they're given these powers that they can either become good or bad. Because Michael from the Lost Boys was a good guy, but he couldn't control his bloodlust, and then that's a slippery slope. But meanwhile, I think was it David, the guy who played it was the
David, yeah, David.
So he was just like a punk asshole guy, like living forever. How long wasn't that? And like Anne Rice's vampires, like Interview with the Vampire, like that. Like the books are cool.
Brad Pitt he couldn't kill.
Right,
he didn't want to kill.
He would eat rats and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and Tom Cruise's character Lestat was just embracing.
Sociopath.
It. So that's why I sort of
sociopath. Yeah.
So that's why I wonder if I know it's a stupid thing to think about, but I like vampire movies. I don't go rushing out to see them, but like I kind of want consistency in how they are. And this is a very bizarre thing to worry about this film, because it's not. It's still an entertaining film, but like I like when a little vampire lore is sort of expanded upon, and you get to know a little bit more of what's going on, because like there's a difference between this and like I can't even think of another vampire movie on the top of my head, but I still thought it worked, and it's doing what it's doing.
Me too.
It's like,
I love it.
The vampires in here, they're like the ones in Dust Till Dawn. They're evil. Like once you become a vampire, they become like in Dust Till Dawn. They were grotesque though.
They were grotesque. They were more grotesque. And this one, they actually there's two scenes that they're taken from other movies, and like we spoke about Weapons, where he like does little like homages to like other films that you can't really tell until you like kind of look into it deep. This one I was like, okay, that's the scene from The Thing when they're doing like the blood test. Right. And then there's a scene from Dusk Till Dawn when they're talking about vampires. They're like, what do you know about vampires? Like From Dusk Till Dawn is more of a comedic thing.
Yeah.
They start like, it's like, but in this one they did it more serious, but that they took that straight from there.
Remember when they did that in The Faculty?
Yeah, that too. Fucking movie. I just rewatched that too, and I was like, this ain't that bad. This is all right.
I know it was horrible when I saw it. I mean,
it's all right.
Sure it's not that bad, but I remember watching it go, this is horrible. Yeah. I used to read Ain't It Cool News, the website, before that. And there was a guy named Harry Knowles. He was like this guy.
I know Harry Knowles.
He was like about like 500 pounds back then. He was like the one guy in the movie who was like 500 pounds, like big rotund guy. And I remember reading, he did a glowing review. He's in the fucking movie. You know what I mean? So obviously he was very known to be corrupt for like he would get.
Of course, he's in the movie, bro. Like
so, I remember reading
when he popped up. I was like, I can't believe this motherfucker's in the movie.
When I read the review. And man, back then even that was toxic. The message boards, like I think Reddit is bad now. It was just as bad back then. And I remember laughing my ass off because some guy was like, "Jesus Christ, you suffer from tank ass," and I could not stop laughing. They just kept insulting him because they knew he was like, he was full of shit. Famously, he did a review for Blade 2. And he compared it to eating pussy, and I was just like, "This guy doesn't. What is he doing?" And then I find out that he got in trouble for like sexual harassment. I was like, "Can you imagine getting sexually harassed by him?" Anyway, so that's Sinners. I'm sorry to end it on a note on Harry Knowles, but I think Sinners obviously is one of the better films of this year for you, right? Like,
Sinners is a great film.
Is it like a top 3 this year for you?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, great,
definitely.
Maybe we'll figure out what the top 3 for us at the end each. Okay, so moving on to that.
I know what my top 1 is already, but the year's not over yet, so for right now I know what it is.
Okay, so let's get into Warfare. This is the movie.
I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen that? Oh, okay.
No,
I thought
haven't
you did
seen it.
Okay, so I'll do this quickly.
It's on HBO Max right now. I know.
Okay, so it was directed by Alex Garland and Ray Mendoza. This was the follow-up to Alex Garland's Civil War, which people are like, they're either in or out for that. What did you think? Civil War was all right.
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I thought it didn't go far enough.
Yeah, I think people were expecting a different movie. There was a movie that I saw, I think, called Bushwick that starred what is that wrestler's name? That act? He's not a
Dave Bautista. Dave Bautista.
And it's I thought it was really good. It does the fake one take movie. Like it takes place in Bushwick, and it sounds ridiculous, but it might not be too ridiculous. But
I know the movie. But
the southern states,
it's like
invade all the northern territories because they don't believe anybody has guns. So it's like it's probably true, but it was I thought I really liked it. I thought it had a great soundtrack, and the ending pissed me off to no end. But I thought that's what Civil War was going to be like. So I think if you were to go see Bushwick, that's the movie I think most people thought Civil War was going to be.
But for me, it's not even. I enjoyed the movie the way it is. Like, I'm fine with how it is. Like, I love that it followed the journalists
and it felt
like
took you through the movie.
It didn't. But I'm talking about like the little details of like there needed to be a little bit more like violence. Like you needed to see the real.
Right.
Like I feel like a lot of this stuff was like he was trying to even make it in a way PG-13.
Yeah, I think he was scared of
like there was a lot of the battle sequences. You see people getting shot and like falling, but it's like you never see like the blood or like even when they shoot the president at the end. Spoilers.
I think he was trying to make it as mainstream as possible.
But I think that hurt it
because that was A24's the biggest budget film they've ever released.
And even when what's her name dies, the main character, Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah,
like you don't see any blood.
Yeah, I think he was trying.
And the girl's behind her, and I'm like, splatter some blood on her face. Like I want to like it just felt like she just fell, and I'm like,
yeah, it was a little silly. But moving on to Warfare, I won't spoil it for you because you haven't seen it yet. But I was watching it, and it's done in sort of a real time. It's about these guys, these platoon of Navy SEALs, embark on a dangerous mission in Ramadi, Iraq, and these guys are just watching. They have like a sniper point, or they're observing other buildings that have guys that they are obviously this is the Iraqi war, and then shit goes bad, and then they have to escape. That's basically the film. And I'm watching it, and it's going in real time, and these people are saying, "Oh, this is one of the greatest war." And it was like, I mean, like there was like, I can't. I've seen pieces of Black Hawk Down, and I hear that's a very good movie. I'm not sure.
That's one of the greatest war films I've ever seen.
So this is what I thought Warfare was going to be. I remember working at a movie theater with Black Hawk Down, and people were protesting outside of the theater because they thought it was a very racist film because primarily the heroes were white and everybody was black, and I'm like, well, that's the area that they were in, and
that's the reality of it.
That's the reality of what happened there. But with this, that's what I thought Warfare would be. But the problem is they're taking an hour and a half of Black Hawk Down is edited. It's like it's a story that's cut into pieces, so it goes back and forth with characters. I don't know how continuous it is storyline wise, but with this
Black Hawk Down, it's very continuous.
Okay,
it's
so maybe
it's following one storyline.
Maybe that's the appropriate film to compare to this one. But watching this, it might be unfair to do that anyway. But seeing Warfare as itself, I thought it was fine. I told you, I remember when I saw it, I was like, this felt like the most expensive Navy SEALs training video ever made. Like, to me, it didn't feel like a film. All the actors are great in it, but I was like, this feels like they play this before for Navy SEALs to watch it. Yeah, and the only cinematic part for me, and this is just me, I might be wrong. People have been crowing about this movie, but I thought the most beautiful shot is the end of the film. I don't want to spoil what it is, but I was like, oh, because it says more in the last few seconds about the whole film and the whole Iraqi war than it does throughout the film. Because you're not watching there's nothing going on that's profound besides guys, shitting their pants, running out of an area, getting blown up and stuff like that. And and my heart goes out to the guys that actually were through this. I can't, war sucks, and putting yourself in this shit, it's horrible. You know what I mean? So I'm not disrespecting what the actual guys that went through this. I'm talking about the film itself. It's not to say anything about them or what's going on with that. But as a film itself, I think if you watch it and you're going in to see sort of an experience, then I think that's fine. Then I think that's as a movie itself, it didn't connect with me. But I think as an experience, you know, because like it's like when I think of Gaspar Noé, I don't know if you're familiar a lot with his films.
Yeah.
But like I don't think like Gaspar Noé to me doesn't direct films. I think he directs like experiences. Like those aren't like movies. They're like you watch them and you're like inside the movie. So Warfare is more like that than it is a film. So I would say watch it, but it's like for me it didn't have any special effect on me, but I think a lot of people would enjoy it.
Yeah. I'll watch it. I'll definitely watch it.
Okay, so I think I can just guess what your movie is. I'm not going to say it yet, because we're going to talk about it, because I think I can guess which one it is. We saw Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. That's not their favorite movie.
Oh.
We're going to do this one quick. What did you think about Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning?
It was all right.
Yeah.
It was the worst one for me.
You know what? I agree.
Out of all of them.
I think I agree. You know,
even the second one.
Yeah, I was about to say the second one. I don't remember the second one that much. I saw it, but I just don't remember it.
It's not good either, but it's better than this. It's just that's more entertaining. Like you're watching that as just pure like escapism.
That was
John Woo.
John Woo, and apparently Tom Cruise was giving him shit throughout the whole film. But then that's I guess when you sign on to a Mission Impossible movie, you're really like the second director. You're the AD to Tom Cruise in these films.
And this is before he was like he had done like 10 of them, you know, like this was already, you know, but at that point he's a huge name already. So it's like, I mean, I think there's good fight scenes in that one, and like I always like the final fight scene between him and the other guy, whatever his name is. I forgot the guy who was supposed to play Wolverine. But for this one, I felt like, man, they messed it up, man. Like the first like 40 minutes of this film are just
it was just like
bad.
Hey, remember this in the other movies? Like I don't care about any of that stuff. Like why is that? Like I'll give him credit for the editing, the precision editing, but I just didn't. Yeah, I didn't see any point because they didn't do that with the last film. You know,
no,
because like I think because nobody saw the other film, that's why they like it didn't. The last one wasn't received well. I mean, at least financially, and this one even less so. So I feel bad in that case, but it felt like, you know, just another entry. I was fine with it. I thought the final scene was like cute. You know what I mean? Like everybody was on their way. And that's it. But
in the final Mission Impossible movie, bro, you can't have this final scene being cute. You know, like it has to be like profound.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's the thing too. Like I walked away, I was like, this felt like the third one.
Yeah, I think he thought if this made money that they'll just go, you know, another 10 years and he'll be like 70 doing this shit. You know what I mean?
But I did like I really loved the previous one too. The one that didn't make as much money as they hoped. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
The last one, the one that came out 2 summers ago, whatever. I thought that was really good too. I'm like, this one they just dropped the ball on it. I think, like you said, they probably like got scared, they got nervous, and they were like, we gotta change it up, and you know,
there was a whole underwater sequence, and I love like that sort of dark, you know, and I didn't give a shit. Like I just didn't even.
Yeah, it didn't work
like,
for me,
I was
man.
like, man.
It didn't work for me at all.
It would be cool, but no. Yeah, it's whatever. It's a whatever movie, which sucks because that's like those gold standard. At least the recent ones, you know, the newest ones have been pretty like well made with good, you know, directors.
And for being the final one, it didn't live up to it,
absolutely
man.
Not. Okay, let's see. You didn't see Bring Her Back or Ballerina, right?
No.
So I'll do these double headers. Ballerina felt like it's obviously part of the John Wick films. Keanu Reeves is in it. It doesn't save it for me. I don't know what I love Ana de Armas. I loved her in that last James Bond film. I thought she was the best part of that like final James Bond movie. She was the most entertaining part of that film. I don't know why they didn't just bring that character into this. Just be like, just copy that character, because in this one she's like, what happens with a lot of films now, with action films, is that they think that just having a brooding main character with no personality is entertaining. I didn't care about her. It felt like a direct-to-video movie, and I was like, wow, for John Wick, this shit feels like, you know, direct-to-video. This is not that. It's not that. I mean, it's not horrible. I thought the storyline was interesting, but it just wasn't entertaining enough, and I didn't care about the action, which is bad for a John Wick film.
Yeah.
To not be like, oh, I remember this part. Like, there's a part where she jumps over a guy and blows his head off with a shotgun. That's the only part that I remember, but even with Keanu in it, it's just like, I didn't care. So that's my thought on that. It wasn't horrible, but it was like, you can see a better film made from, you know, like a fighting movie from like Thailand or something is much better than this. Bring Her Back fantastic. I wasn't sure about the Philippou brothers, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because I didn't think Talk to Me was that good. Like that would to me that was overhyped. I thought it was fine. Okay, whatever. So, but when I gave this a chance, and brother, it is a dark film. It is unbelievably dark and depressing, and I felt a little bit more horrific than Weapons. Like this was a proper and obviously we kissed the ass of Weapons, which is fine. This is not to take away from Weapons at all. I felt it was a little bit more horrifying than Weapons, because Weapons felt kind of fun, and I know why Bring Her Back didn't make any money, because I think people saw it and they just got depressed. Like they were just like, Jesus Christ, like it's that type of film. Acting was great, direction was great. It felt mature. I think it was based in Australia too, so I think it had that whole element, as well as feeling. It felt foreign. It wasn't like people going "G'day," doing fighting kangaroos and shit. But it was just really well done. So that's a complete, absolute recommendation from me for Bring Her Back, because that's a brutal movie, and I'm surprised that they released it. That's how surprised I was by it. Okay, let's see. So did you see Jurassic World Rebirth?
No.
Okay, good. We don't have to talk about that because I don't care.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
I don't know. I saw 5 seconds of Happy Gilmore 2. I don't understand.
No, let's not talk about that.
Black Bag. What'd you think of that?
Oh yeah, I saw that in theaters. I loved it.
Great.
I thought it was great.
Your man.
It was a very it was very like small movie. It didn't have a lot of like crazy stuff going on, but it was well done.
And it's on Prime.
It was
now,
a nice.
I believe.
Yeah, it was a nice little thriller. It was well done. One of the better Steven Soderbergh movies that he's released in the recent time. You know what I mean? I mean, he always does like interesting movies. He doesn't always do like great movies. Like sometimes they're a little like underwhelming.
Okay.
But I appreciate that, his craft, because he's one of those directors that does everything. Like he directs it. He doesn't write anymore, but he directs, edits. He's his own DP. So I love watching his films because you just watch a director doing his craft in every aspect.
Yeah, Soderbergh. I was gonna say sodomize. Soderbergh is a guy that you can admire. Just like this is just his
even if the movie's not that good.
His workflow, just like because the guy's not full of shit. You know what I mean? Like he he'll like. I don't know, because I was gonna say he's like how Scorsese, like he's still doing it. He's still making a lot of movies.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Soderbergh does, but he does like twice the amount of movies. Doesn't mean that all of his movies are quality.
No, but he's trying different things.
Right.
He's
and
trying.
That's the thing about it.
Sometimes he shoots with an iPhone.
Right.
But sometimes he shoots with like
Unsane, which was fun. And now they're gonna was fun. They're gonna do a bunch of like a reboot of Ocean's 11, and it's gonna suck because it's not him doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was 2 films that I know that I assumed were one of them was the top, and so I'm just gonna we're not gonna do that now because I don't think we're gonna leave Highest to Lowest as the last film we're gonna talk about. That's not your top movie, really?
No, it's not.
So obviously either 28 Years Later or Eddington. So which one of those do you want to talk about last? Am I right? One of those 2 are your
yeah. 20 Years Later is my number 1.
Okay, so we'll get to that last. So let's get into Eddington. What did you think about Eddington?
Yeah. I enjoyed it, man. It's a crazy, weird movie. It's as far as Ari Aster. When I walked out of it, I was like, oh, I think this is his best film. But then, I rewatched it again, and I'm like, I don't know.
What is it that might have knocked it down a peg for you?
I think it was the audience.
Really?
Interaction with the movie, because when you watch it with an audience, there was a lot of laughter in the movie theater, and so that gets you kind of laughing with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like there's just a lot of like funny little moments in it, crazy moments, and then when you watch it at home, it was a little bit flat because you're like, I don't know, it didn't come off as funny as it did in the theaters, but I still enjoyed it. And I think it's a great movie, that kind of like made us relive, really like kind of like weird dark time.
It was a reflective movie. Like, I don't know how many COVID inspired films there are. I'm sure there's a lot of them. But I think this one, like for me, it nailed it because it's like it's funny but sad because I was like, Jesus, I acted like some of these people in this movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, how
I
embarrassed.
100% acted like Pedro Pascal. Like when he was telling his son, like, wash your hands.
Yeah,
don't do it. Like that was me, bro. And I'm like, fuck. So like this is the first movie that made you. What I love about this movie, it made both sides look at each other.
Yeah.
And be like, we kind of took it a little too far, but you know.
And it's still happening to this day. But I think that I think Joaquin Phoenix is so good in it because like he got shit because of Joker 2. Did that come out that came out last year, right? How long ago that came out? That's
that came out in I think it came out like October of last year.
So with Joker 2, which was obviously a complete,
which was I don't know,
a complete mistake,
bro.
And because he was the one that pitched that, so he screwed that up. But and then like he got into trouble because Joaquin Phoenix, actor, had kind of left production of this film, which I think was about two gay guys falling in love.
Yeah.
Now I think he's being replaced by Pedro Pascal, who's in this film, and so I think he was looking for a hit to be like, oh shit, people like me, please, because that's more of a Hollywood thing. Like if you leave a film and you know it kind of disrupts a movie being made, then you kind of get a shit list for it. But how Joaquin he doesn't need two things in a row happening, like Joker 2, which was a mega like flop, and then that. So I think he was hoping with this one people would enjoy it, and I enjoyed it. It didn't make money like it should have. I think it should have, because I think people are still sort of weird about these types of films, and unfortunately I think they're gonna be like, Ari Aster, where's the next horror movie? Where's the next Hereditary or Midsommar? Because his last swing for his sort of personal film, which was Beau is Afraid, I enjoyed it, but I can see why people were like, what the hell was this? Like, so that's probably why this film came out. I think it was. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought like,
Me too.
I think people acted like real people in this movie. Like they acted. It was a little bit over the top a little bit, but I think people actually act like this. Like there was nothing to me that felt phony in how the characters talk to each other. Because that's how crazy it got in the United States. Just the way...
Totally.
And even small things. Like, there was a part that I liked where Pedro Pascal's character, where he was on like a video meeting, like a Zoom call with 4 other people, and then, like, he puts it on...
He's like, can we say something to this bitch or something like that?
And I was just like, that is so realistic. There's a part where Joaquin's, like, character calls another guy the F slur, and he tells him to stop recording it because it was just like, this is how people talk. You let that more mental mask slip because this whole movie had about masks, like physical masks. But then when you let that actual real person, because real people insult each other in real life, they say shit under their breath, and that's exactly what this film was. And Ari Aster is like, when they interviewed him, I listened to a great episode of WTF, and I started getting back into that podcast, and he was talking about, he was, listen, you'll know my politics by watching the film, because like people try to say, oh, this is both sides. That's how well he captured it, because both sides were fucking nuts in this movie. But he said, no, it's not a both sides movie. Like Ari Aster said he's a leftist,
Totally.
So when you see the right wing character go berserk and start like blasting people away, like I don't think he meant to completely demonize right-wing people in the film like that, but it's obviously like it's not like the left.
No, 100%. You could tell.
Yeah, so it's a really interesting film, and I think it plays it in both sides that people can look at themselves and go like, Jesus Christ, like when they watch it,
And also, that's my favorite moment section of this film is the second half when he kills one of the main characters, and it turns into a completely different movie. It starts becoming a thriller. Yeah. It starts becoming like he's trying to hide his crime, and that's when I felt like the film really picked up. And then it goes a little bonkers at the end,
right?
But it's still good.
Filmed, by the way, beautifully filmed. When that whole scene where and the thing is, you watch it and you're like, even though it's not a horror film, well, to some people, like to people in general, it's sort of a horror film. But he uses horror elements, as in horror like film stuff. Like when he's driving back into his house, and then his wife shows up like in the headlights. And I was like, that's a horror shot right there. Like
also when he goes back in the house, like near the end, and he thinks it's his wife, but it's actually the mother-in-law.
Yeah.
That's also that's straight out of like Hereditary or something. You know,
the shot when the place blows. You know, that whole explosion scene in the middle of the desert, and then he sees that lone figure recording him, like in the shadows.
Yeah,
like that was so unsettling to me. But I think just like everybody knocked that out of the park in this film. Like the lefty characters, like Pedro Pascal's son is such a little bitch that I hated this. He played it well. Matt Gomez Hidaka. He played it so well. I was like, I hope they kill this guy. I won't spoil what happens, but it was just like, oh god, you just wanted to wring the necks of a lot of characters. And I figured it was gonna go where it went, where like Joaquin kind of loses his shit halfway through the movie. But I was like, I thought it earned it. Like I thought it earned it at least this type of film. And obviously people have questions about like that plane going into the ending and what's the real the real meaning. But I think enough people haven't seen this film that we're gonna outwardly spoil it. So I think certainly you should watch it. If you're listening to this and you haven't thought, or you thought, oh, it's going to be too political, it's not Aster cramming things down your throat. I didn't feel like anything was crammed down my throat about anything in this film. I think what it was opening a very satirical look at how we've, as a nation, haven't recovered still. And I thought it was so good. Totally. I thought it was such a good movie. Totally. I thought it was great, and I think Aster like really knocked it out of the park with that one. Okay, so let's see what else is there. Let's do highest to lowest right now. What about that one?
Yeah, let's do that.
So highest to lowest, Spike Lee's latest effort, based on another. Well, I forget what that is.
High and Low.
High and Low. Excuse me. Yeah. I don't see many, and it's officially produced by Kurosawa's company. Kurosawa was a fan of Spike Lee, apparently, like the guy. So I think I think this is the second remake that Spike Lee has done. I know he did Old Boy, which I didn't watch because I was like, how could you remake Old Boy? Which is like
I enjoyed that movie.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
I'll give
it
a look.
He even says this is not a remake. He says it's a reinterpretation.
Yeah, because even Old Boy, the film, the ending was different because it was based on a comic book. So the film version had an ending that was just like a holy shit. You know, he's watching it going woof. But that's what South Korean cinema does. But anyway, with highest to lowest, we see. I mean, I don't see that many Spike Lee films, and I don't know why that is. Because every time I've seen them, I was like, well, these are pretty good, you know? But they're like, there were like a sling of times. Like, I remember Girl 6, that coming out, and people said, I didn't watch that, but they said, this is horrible. And I'm like, oh boy. So you kind of just like forget. Like, I didn't.
He misses a few times, but a majority of the time, he's doing good stuff, man. He's doing like unique, his own style. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
which I admire.
And the thing is, you know, it's a Denzel film because Denzel film. It's a Spike Lee. It is also a Denzel film, but it's a Spike Lee film because Spike Lee has this like, he still feels like a new director, if that makes any sense. Like he feels like it's not. I don't want to say amateurish, but it feels like he takes chances with his films. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's parts where he directly talks to the audience, even though it's characters talking to each other. Like, I think with his films, he tries to instill, like, a lesson in his movies. It'll hit you over the head a lot of times. Yeah. But, like even the part where the guy is on the
subway?
Yeah. And he's saying, fuck, you know, because that's just Spike Lee going, look, I love the Yankees.
I know.
And the guy,
I like that little moment.
Oh, me too. You know? No, I love it. That's because to me, like, that's a Spike Lee moment because of the character.
That's what I mean. He'll do that. He'll break the fourth wall
the
for a quick second.
The guy's yelling at the audience.
But again, that's him like trying new things. Not even trying new things because he does that a lot. So it's like that's his style. Like he's bringing his own style into his movies. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah. And that's what I liked about it because because the thing with Denzel and beautiful looking movie. Holy shit, did this movie look beautiful for me? Like that first shot, like I've been in that area. It's called Dumbo, where Denzel's character lives, and I remember. I can't even imagine what the rent is, bro. That rent must be like you must have like piss gold or something. Because I remember went to somebody's apartment for a film shoot, And I looked out and it was looking at the Dumbo, like under the park, Dumbo Park, and I was like, how much do you have to pay to live? And the house was full. There was just like the most minimalism of an apartment, and it was all full of books. And I know that motherfucker that lived there did not read any of those books. But like, you just look at how this movie looks. It's a gorgeously shot film. The editing was really strange with this film.
It was. I'll say this. I just want to say this about this film. This film is both really bad and also good.
Yeah, I understand.
Like, there's a lot of really great scenes, but man, there's a lot of bad stuff in this movie, bro.
What was bad for you?
Me. The editing was really bad, bro.
There was editing where
some of the
what do you think was the point? I'm sorry to cut you off. The point where they'll show a shot happening twice.
Yeah.
Like,
I get what he's trying to do. He was trying to do what Oliver Stone does sometimes in his films, very specifically in Natural Born Killers, where he'll do like, I don't know if you remember that movie that well, but he does stuff
Stone
where
movie?
Like,
which Oliver Stone movie? Or you talking about
Natural Born
Killers?
Killers.
Yeah, right.
So he does a scene where like he'll show the same piece of dialogue from a different angle, but the actor will act it in a different way, or they'll give it a different inflection.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
And
what you
it works
mean,
so well in that movie, and I think he was trying to do that in this, but it just sucked.
Because
it was literally just another angle.
Okay.
And he just showed the shot again, and I'm like, there's no artistic, value. Because
I don't remember with dialogue, but I remember stuff with like hands, and I was like, are we supposed to
handshakes?
Like, yeah, right.
When they handshake each other, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. There's a lot of the visuals are good, like the cinematography is good, but the blocking is bad in this movie. There's a lot of bad blocking. There's a lot of bad camera movement. There's a scene where he's talking to the guy that he's trying to do the deal with comes to his apartment building, and they're talking in the lobby. I don't know if you remember this scene.
Yeah, I do.
And they're like, and it's like one take, and it's just pushing in, right? Mm-hmm. And as a filmmaker, you're thinking, okay, I know where this scene is going to end up with the close up, because it's like this. Once it gets to the final like push in shot, it goes back to another shot back again, like another wide, like it's pushing in again. I'm like, that's bad. There's just a lot of bad. The editing is really, really bad in this movie for a majority of it. Although it gets better.
I did not understand
the second half.
That logo of his company flashing twice randomly in the film. It's like a woman's head.
Oh yeah, me neither.
Flying back in the air, and I was like, what is this? Like, what just happened there?
That's total garbage.
Because I can understand doing that once, but it didn't make any sense why it happened in the scene. It just sort of happens. And I won't give a problem to, because I saw a vampire film that he did. It was a remake of Ganja and Hess, but I forget the name of the movie. Oh, the Sweet Blood of the Christ, that one, right? Oh yeah, the Sweet Blood of the Jesus, that one. I liked that a lot. That was a cool ass movie. And the thing that makes Spike so like interesting in what he does, like that film, like it starts out. It's a movie about a guy, like a rich guy who becomes like a vampire because he's an artist or he's a collector or something like that. The movie takes place like I forget where, but somewhere like where the beaches are and stuff like that. But the beginning of the movie is just a guy dancing. Has nothing to do with the movie. He's like it's like Spike Lee said, like he saw a guy who could dance on the train and said, I want to put you in the opening of this film. It has nothing to do with the film. And I appreciate that. I didn't see much of that here. But I like the New York feel of it. Like for me, there was something comfortable about the film. I understand 100% what you're saying. I agree with you. Yeah. But there was something comfortable about the film. But it felt a little old school. But yeah, there was something about it that was, and it was so funny because they were hyping up like Ice Spice, who's like a rapper, who raps about like she shakes her ass and then she raps about shitting all the time for some reason. And they're like, Ice Spice is in the movie. She's in the movie for 30 seconds, bro. I was like. That's it? Like, I thought she was going to be the girl that comes back at the end of the film, because I'm sure you were happy with that ending, too, where it was just like a random singing part. Because I thought they dragged that on, because I was like, what's this scene? And Denzel...
I mean, I was okay with it, but I'm like, it's too long.
Yeah, it felt like...
And then why did it become a full like, orchestra band?
Yeah, I know.
Like, come on, man.
Denzel earns every fucking dime, though, at least. Like,
well, this is what I have to say about Denzel's character too. I mean, I have to say a lot, bro. Like, I felt like his character was like, you didn't really feel like he was like a music guy.
Yeah.
Like I felt like the end when she's singing and he's like trying to like feel the music, it just felt forced to me. I was like, but you didn't really do that through the rest of the film.
Yeah, because
you know?
it was like he's the best
that.
ears in the thing, and I was like watching it, going like, I noticed that they said that line specifically because he's gonna hear, like when the guy was in the bathtub and he's listening to rap music, I was like, okay, that's the bad guy rapping. Like as soon as that happened, I was like, okay, that's it. That's how he's gonna catch the guy. I'm gonna tell you this: when I saw the trailer for this film, I must have not been paying attention because the way I didn't know the story of this movie because it was based on a novel, an American novel. I think it was an American novel that Kurosawa made a film about, and I think there was another version of it too. That I was watching, and I was like, I saw the trailer, and I thought this was like a Scarface type of movie. I thought that's what the whole film was gonna be. So when it turns into this sort of like kidnapping thing, and I thought it was interesting that like they put him in the situation where like, oh, his son is like not kidnapped, it's the other guy.
Yeah.
And I came up, I was like, why didn't they just put fake money? You know what I mean? Like, why is the whole thing about him worrying about his money? And then I was just like, I looked that up, and apparently they don't like to put fake money because then that might endanger the person that's kidnapped. So I was like, whatever. But I understand completely what you're saying. It sounded like you were still off the high of his last film. I forget what that last one was. The one that lost the Oscar.
Black Klansman. Black Klansman. No, the last one he did was the war film, the Vietnam one with I think Chadwick Boseman's last film or something.
Really?
Yeah, the one with Delroy Lindo. That he was amazing in the fucking movie. That he played like a MAGA guy.
I didn't even remember.
They all go. Out. It's a Netflix film. It was a Netflix film. It was maybe like 2021.
Okay.
I thought it was a great film. That was his last film, but I don't know. This film, like
The Five Bloods. No, that can't be. That Five Bloods was way.
Yeah.
Bro,
that was his last film,
like,
bro.
Was there another Vietnam movie before that he did?
I think he did another Vietnam film.
Because
I don't know.
Like, oh god.
Oh yeah, he did another one that was like really, really like bad.
Okay.
It was called like something of Fort Washington, or I don't know what it was, something like that. But I think The Five Bloods was, I think, it was pretty recent. It was like around the time this guy died.
Bro, I feel like I'm having what is that whole thing where the Berenstein Bears thing? I feel like The Five Bloods came out 20...
Mandela Effect?
I thought The Five Bloods came out 10 years ago, bro.
Nah, that was his last one, man.
You're genuinely hearing me freak out. But, I mean, I guess this whole film just did not work out for you. Because this is supposed to be the focus. Originally, we were supposed to just focus on this movie, but I think you were like, I'm glad we're talking about other movies.
No, but here's the crazy thing is that I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed all the New York stuff about it.
I love the end
I always love New York films. Train sequence was good.
Yeah,
there's some parts in there with the cops that is a little bad. Like the problem with this movie is that like for all the good, there's always bad in there. You know what I mean? It's like there can never be just like long stretches of like greatness. There was always something that was like screwing it up, and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand.
There were many like red herrings too, like with shots of his son, because I thought maybe his son figured, was going to steal from the dad, because they were like, I thought Jeffrey Wright's character was like stealing from him too and stuff. Like Jeffrey Wright was great in it, but they didn't really give him much. Like it felt like they just took first takes. Sometimes, like Spike Lee said, okay, that's
100%.
Because like the part when he gets shot, and then Jeffrey Wright's like, "Oh, I got glass in my eye. I got glass."
Yeah. It's like, bro, this is the only take, bro. Like, come on.
I think the ASAP Rocky was like 150 takes. I think.
Yeah.
I wonder if I.
Yeah, probably.
I think I'm.
I mean, to be honest, I liked all his scenes. I love the ending. I love the ending. When he's with him in the studio. That chase was cool, even though the music was like overbearing.
Did the theater screen fall on your head when you watched that scene? Just kidding.
No, I watched it at home. I watched it at home.
So your ceiling fell on you when you saw that?
No.
Yeah. So I mean, I that part too was like definitely like Denzel talking to the audience, because he's like,
Yeah.
And Denzel earns every penny, because to me, he's the most realistic feeling character in the movie. It feels like in a lot of Spike Lee movies, the characters feel hyper realized, like they feel like characters out of a play for the most part. But like, especially when he's acting in it, I'm surprised Spike Lee wasn't in the movie. Because he's always the one that like sticks out the most in his own movies. He's like Tarantino acting in his own movies.
Yeah.
But
it's true. But it's just like, man, you look at all his movies and you're like, his movies are so well done.
Right.
Like, look at Inside Man.
Yeah.
Look at like, you can even look at Summer of Sam. Like they're slick and they're well done. This didn't feel that way. This felt like very like amateurish.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's what I was saying in the beginning.
It felt lazy. Like they were just rushing through every scene.
Another part where he's talking to himself that's very Spike. Sorry to cut you off. Spike Lee is when he goes and he's wondering about whether giving the money up for the kid, and he's talking to the photos. What would you do? What would you do? I forget that guy's. But go ahead.
But even that scene is like, it's just like one wide shot, and then it's like he just cuts to different wide shots. I'm like, bro, you couldn't go like,
you should do a 2-hour
tighter shot.
You should do a 2-hour video on YouTube about that, bro. Just like, look at this shot. What is this? The Puerto Rican Day Parade. I had to look up if the Puerto Rican Day Parade took place whenever Yankees games. Like I thought it was like this, like a special thing that happened, but apparently it does. There's always a Yankee.
All that stuff was good though. All that stuff was good. I like that stuff.
I did not appreciate that one actor ripping the Puerto Rican flag from that guy's hand.
I don't remember that part, but yeah. I mean, overall, I did enjoy it. It's not like I was like, man, this sucks. No, I was like, yo, this is good, but it just has It has a lot of flaws in it. It has like a lot of just technical flaws, which I don't really see coming from Spike Lee too much.
And that could be a huge detriment to a film, obviously. So I understand that. I think that was probably the biggest thing that messed it up for you. But I still recommend it. The soundtrack I loved. A lot of people hate that soundtrack. They said it sounded like RPG music. I was like, what? I was like,
it sounded like Irish.
It is, but it is. It's Scottish.
Yeah.
The part I watched the chase scene to the train because I loved that song. I kept looping over and over, watching the stuntman run for Denzel, who's like nearly 70 something. But I loved the music in that. And then when you see I guess the best actor of the year for you, this rapper, when he
he wasn't the best actor, but he did what he had to do,
like,
bro. Like he's playing a hoodlum. He's playing like a what's his name? His name is what's his rap name in the movie?
A$AP Rocky is playing Young Felon.
That's a hood name, bro. He did what he had to do. Like when they were in the Bronx in his apartment, and I was like, yeah, this guy's from the Bronx, bro.
I gotta be honest, that rap scene felt very like cheap, and he has directed rap videos before, and it was just like 4 girls like twerking, and I was like,
I like the concept of it. But I was like, this is cool. Yeah. They should have done more with it. They should have like expanded it.
I feel like
what I mean?
Spike was like, okay, we got this. We can. Yeah, that's exactly what you said. But overall, I enjoyed it, but it definitely has its flaws.
Me too.
I think the entertainment of it was more than with the flaw. But I can't pinpoint why I like the movie.
Yeah, me too.
It's just weird.
I feel the same way. And
it's not like a loyalty to Spike Lee or something like that. Like I'll watch any movie separately as their own thing, but there was something about it that I think worked, and it felt very, it felt hobbled together by somebody who cared and didn't care at the same time. If that makes any sense. But anyway, so that's highest to lowest. Not the number one
happened
film,
to him, bro.
Not for your number one film this year. Right, okay, good. Caught Stealing. So this is the movie that came out that was directed by our good friend Darren Aronofsky. I don't know what the last Darren Aronofsky film I saw was. You didn't see The Whale, right?
I didn't see The Whale.
You saw Noah?
I saw Noah.
I did not see The Whale. I did not see Noah. I don't remember the last film of his I saw. It's not like he's done many films.
No.
So what did you think about Caught Stealing?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun movie. I thought it was like it takes place in the late 90s, and it just felt like a movie that would be in the theaters at that time.
Yeah. I felt there was some element missing, but I thought overall it was entertaining. There's always something, like, I don't know what it is, what kind of person I've become, where I'm just like jaded, where with Weapons I kind of got what I wanted out of that film. You know what I mean? But with this, I thought it was great. It was very entertaining. I thought this guy certainly is a fantastic lead actor. Obviously, I never saw the Elvis movie, but apparently he was strong enough actor to hold that film together.
He was amazing in that movie, bro.
Austin Butler's great. Zoe Kravitz.
I think he was a little miscast, though.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll be honest with you.
Why'd you think so?
Because he looks too
perfect or something.
He looks too perfect for this movie.
I get it.
Like, he's a down and out baseball player. Like, I get it, but he hasn't been playing baseball, and I think in the movie for a long time, and he's ripped, and he's like a drunk, but he's ripped.
I mean, but that gets you Zoe Kravitz, though.
Sure, but I think just a basic actor that isn't like super good looking could play that and still get Zoe, because
Who do you think would have been a good actor? Like Alden Ehrenreich or something like that.
He could have been good in this.
Yeah, I think
he could have been good in this. Yeah,
I think he does well enough that that can pass.
No, but it's. I mean, he's the thing is that he's just a great actor.
I think the fact that they're good looking also adds to the point that it was a '90s film, because everybody in '90s films were also. Good looking. If it was '80s, that's different. I think.
I guess, but it just didn't.
Why do you think Aronofsky
that's the one
did
thing.
This, though? Why did you think he made this film? This particular film.
Maybe just the love of New York.
Palate cleanse.
Because I know. What was that?
Palate cleanse, because he did The Whale was the last film he did, right? And he did like a big art
The
house,
Whale,
and he probably just wanted to get a movie that made some money. I'm sure The Whale made money though, right?
I think it did. I mean, it won this guy an Oscar, so I think that's even though the movie maybe didn't make a super amount of money, I think just winning an Oscar, that you directed an Oscar-winning performance is going to give you, some legs for your next film. But I this one, maybe he just wanted to have fun. He wanted to try something different. This has a good thriller, aspect to it. It's also kind of violent and dark.
Yeah, when I saw the trailer, I thought of Lucky Number 11, which I remember enjoying. I don't remember most of the film, but I remember I was like, Lucy Liu was cute in it. I remember all the villains and stuff like that, and I enjoyed it. And it was Josh Hartnett, and Josh Hartnett was in the fantastic movie Trap recently. No, I'm just joking. Abysmal. We could do a whole thing on that. But anyway, I enjoyed it so much so that I was like, because it ends on a I guess a hopeful note. Because people were saying, I don't know if we could spoil. We shouldn't spoil it, but a character dies, and they're like, "Whoa, such a twist!" And I was like, "That happens 15 minutes into felt like 15 minutes of the movie to me."
I think that was a detriment to the movie too. But even in the context of the story, I don't know.
I gotta be honest. If that character, but the thing is, this is based on a book, so that character was doomed from the get-go. But if that character would have been in this film, I think it would have really felt like a '90s film. If that person was surviving and running around with Austin Butler throughout the whole movie, I'm not talking about
100%.
But I still enjoyed it. But
me too. I enjoyed it.
I found out that since it's actually based on 3 books, so I actually downloaded the 2 other books, the audio books. So I just wanted to, because it was enough for me that I was interested in what happens to this character after, because there's not going to be a Caught Stealing 2, I'm sure of it. But I had a good time with it. I think any general audience will have a good time with this film. I think we're just
I enjoyed it.
I think we're just not spoiling movies that people haven't seen. Like Sinners, you can spoil, but everything else
fine.
is whatever.
But it had its flaws, but again, I can overlook stuff like that. But overall, this was very enjoyable. It was a good story. I loved seeing kind of his backstory and flashes. But then it kind of all comes together at the end. Even though it kind of was a little bit convoluted in a way. But
it's interesting that go ahead.
It still worked though.
Yeah, I think pretty big directors that were doing modern to close to modern set films like Eddington and this film, which is obviously it's in the 90s, so that's when I think in the 90s, I'm like, oh my god, that's how long ago it was. And then also now upcoming
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah, One Battle After Another. That's a modern set film. So I like that trend that these sort of big directors are making sort of modern set films and didn't make some weird art house movies, although they have elements of it. Just want to shortly talk about Mickey 17, which I saw. You didn't see that one yet, right?
I saw half of it.
So that must speak about how that film meant to you. What did you think about it?
No, I thought it was good so far. I've been watching it on HBO Max.
I liked it. It's not the movie that I thought it was going to be. But it might be because it was Bong Joon-ho, because he does these sort of quirky, weird movies when it's not sort of like, what was that, Okja? It's more in line with Okja than it is with Parasite or like his other films. And but I liked it. I thought he was Robert Pattinson, clearly showing once again he's such a entertaining dude. Here's the thing that was interesting is, like, I saw Mickey 17, and it's sort of like this weird science fiction future where these people are poor and they have to. It's like Aliens, I guess. If you take the last Romulus movie in the new series, you have to pay off your debt, and that's what this character does. I think that seems to be that wasn't in Blade Runner or anything, right? I see that mostly in a lot of like films. I think these filmmakers just know what the future is going to be. They just put that in movies because you're going to be basically working off your debt. I found I enjoyed this movie more after I saw. There's a TV series, and there's only TV series I'm going to talk about in this episode, called Murderbot, from, I think it's Apple TV, and I enjoyed it a lot. And if you watch this film and you enjoyed it, I'm recommending Murderbot because it's a fun series with Alexander Skarsgård, and it feels like it's in the same world, and it's that same sort of quirky science fiction. And I don't think we get a lot of like quirky science fiction. So I think it's worth it. I don't think it's a perfect film. What movie is? There's a lot of them, but just not recently. But I think that it does its job in making it entertaining. I think that it's missing something, like I always say with every film. But I think it's worth watching just alone for like some of the visuals and the acting that Pattinson does, because he's playing like two or three different characters in the movie. From
the first, up to what I got, it was good. It was entertaining.
Okay.
You know, I just didn't finish it. I was like, I'll finish this later. It wasn't because I didn't like it. I was like, this is good. I like Mark Ruffalo's character. I know he's playing the Trumpian guy. I think it's interesting visually too. It's a good movie. But I have to just finish it.
There are some films that you can like, but then just go whatever, like, to the rest of it sometimes, and I think that just happens a lot. Like, and then you watch it and you go, oh yeah, this was really good. Why did I take so long to watch it? But that's just how life is. You watched Companion, right? What'd you think of that?
I didn't like it that much.
Okay, because a lot of people were saying, this is the best horror this year.
No.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say something that might be a little bit offensive. It was too white for me, bro.
Okay, fair enough.
It was too white. I'm like, this needs diversity in here. Like, I know they have the gay characters, but it's not enough. It didn't give me that oomph that it needed. It was just felt generic a little bit. Like, I understand what they were trying to do, but I don't know. I felt like I've seen this movie done better. The what?
Jack Quaid, was he good in it? Because he's the guy from The Boys.
Yeah, he was good.
Okay,
he was good.
Enough.
He was good.
He was in a movie called Novocaine that I didn't watch. Novocaine, that movie felt like the weird movie you'd get in the 2000s, or randomly like what was that POV movie you and I think you saw it. It was the POV movie. The whole movie shot like Hardcore Henry.
Hardcore Henry?
Loved that movie. It felt like
that movie's awesome.
Recommendation.
That movie is that movie's up there.
And hey,
bro.
Guess what? That's an all white movie. That was fine. I thought it was pretty good for
but it's again like it's not. But the movie is not depicting bougie white people.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
This is what that movie was depicting, and I'm like, I don't want to see this.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying?
So watch Hardcore Henry instead of Companion.
Hardcore Henry is a masterpiece compared to Companion. I mean, it's a masterpiece in itself. Like when I just recently watched this movie for the first time. Like I think it was like 3 or 4 months ago, and I was like, "Yo, this movie is insane."
It's sick. Yeah, it's a sick movie. It's great, and you're like, "Where's the rest of this guy's movies?"
I was like, "That's what I'm saying. Like, where did this guy go?"
It's because it didn't make any money, dude. That's why. That's what happened.
I'm like, how can you make a movie like this and not be like
he recently came out with something else, so people were talking about. I just cannot think about what it was. Final Destination: Bloodlines.
Oh yeah, I watched it. I thought it was good.
I saw pieces of it. It was fine by me. I
thought it was really good. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like I'm not really into the movies too much. I think I saw like the first one and maybe like parts of like the third one. But this one was well done.
Okay, good. I saw Predator: Badlands, which was the animated Predator movie fun movie.
I didn't see that one.
If that
yet,
movie
yeah.
had been done live action, it would have been a classic, fun Predator movie. Like Predator Badlands is basically the right version of Predators, the one where it's like Adrian
Gotcha.
Brody. I did not like that movie. People loved it, I guess, for whatever reason, because they just wanted to see, you know, that's the same reason people watch Alien versus Predator, and I was like, those Predators, like, they were like weightlifting before every scene, and I was like, I'm not watching any of those fucking movies.
The Predators movie is good for like the first half of it is good because it's pretty much Predator.
Yeah,
just on an alien planet.
It was the first movie where I was like, what the fuck was Lawrence Fishburne
Once he
thinking?
comes into the picture, the movie's done.
Horrible acting. I couldn't believe Lawrence Fishburne was acting that way. I did enjoy Topher Grace. People hate Topher Grace a lot because he was
good in that.
He was great in that, especially the reveal of his character. Great.
Yeah.
Havoc, I had a good time with, which was the movie
Tom Hardy one.
Tom Hardy film. I saw it on Netflix.
I didn't watch it.
I don't think you'd be missing much. It's Gareth Evans. Gareth Evans has been sort of floundering.
I did watch his first film.
Marantu?
Which one?
Marantau?
No, not his first film. His most famous film.
Oh, The Raid.
What's his most famous
Redemption?
film? The Raid Redemption. Yeah, the first one.
Yes, that's the first.
I watched that. I watched that for the first time recently, and I thought it was good. I thought the fight scenes were crazy.
Oh, they're great. I think The Raid Part 2 was even better. Because that felt like an actual sort of film, like Raid Redemption. I don't know why the Redemption is an American titling of it for some reason.
I don't like that. It feels like a sequel.
It feels like a sequel, right? But the Raid 2 is so good. Like honestly, if you liked Raid 1, Raid 2. So I'm talking about fucking killing a bug spray or something. But Raid 2 is just like he went all out. Like he topped that first film, because the first one was just the same as Dredd.
Video game.
Yeah, because Dredd came out the same time, but like Dredd is like, I worship that movie Dredd, the Judge Dredd film, masterpiece. And now they're saying they're gonna make a TV show, and I'm like, I don't care if it's not any of the guys. Taika Waititi's remaking it, or making a new version. I'm like, oh boy. But yeah, so I liked Havoc. It felt like it had great like car chase scenes, and then when you watch the car chases in Havoc, you go, like, if you sit and you actually think about most of the stuff that happens on screen, because Tom Hardy's not a fucking karate actor, you know, none of those guys.
Nah, he's not.
I forgot who the other actor's in it, but there's this other name actor that's in it, and you're like, that guy's not like an action guy. But when you watch the car chases, you're like, there's no fucking way this was shot real, because it's dynamic camera movement. It's Timothy Olyphant is the other guy. Timothy Olyphant isn't a karate guy in that. He's good in it too, but he's like, he's like 5 seconds. He's throughout the whole film, but he's like a 5-minute kind of actor in the film. It's all digital stuff like that, and it's crazy, but it's entertaining. So I actually, if you're bored.
Let me say this. Speaking of Tom Hardy, I watched the series that he has on Mobland. So good, bro. Good. It was so good. Typically I don't know. I kind of like don't necessarily like those kind of like crime films or shows that are like UK based, because I get annoyed at like the accents. But except for Snatch. But this was like good, and Tom Hardy was amazing in it. Also, Pierce Brosnan is just one of the best actors I've ever seen.
Did you ever see that Jackie Chan film he did, The Foreigner?
No, I haven't seen that.
You have to see that movie, but go ahead. You have to. He's fantastic.
But he's amazing in this. His Patty Constantine that he's in like the movies with Edgar Wright does, like
I know
the one where they go through the different, him.
Yeah. I think his name is
he plays like
that.
Constantine or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Constantine,
I think that's it actually. Yeah.
Patty Constantine. He plays like their best friend. So like Tom Hardy's like a fixer. He's the fixer of the crime family.
Okay.
And so he's very like badass, as he usually is. Like he's like, you don't fuck with him, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of there's like wars going on with another family, and so he has to be between trying to keep everything together while also like protecting Pierce Brosnan's family, because that's his boss. But Pierce Brosnan sees him as like a son, because he's best friends with Patty Constantine is Pierce Brosnan's son, so they're best friends, Tom Hardy and him. but Tom Hardy's the fixer,
Okay.
and it's just a great. It was a great series. Like I didn't expect to like it as much as I did.
Okay, cool. I gotta.
And Tom Hardy's,
that was something that I was always heard about, and especially when you spoke.
I think
about
you should watch it. You should watch it.
Speaking, going back a little bit to Gareth Edwards, he did a show called Gangs of London that I hear is really good, but it's like more like The Raid, but with England and like people just. I saw scenes from it. And it looked pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, did you watch F1? It's a movie.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, I was one of the first ones I was gonna talk about. I have not seen it yet. What did you think about it?
I thought it was good. It was serviceable. It wasn't anything amazing.
Okay.
Like Brad Pitt's character is so like, it's just so generic in that movie. But it's like, you know how they always try to throw it off and like make him not be like, give him like depth and stuff. This one they were like, no, we're gonna go back to like the way they used to make it in the 80s. Like he's gonna be the main character and he's gonna win at the end.
Okay.
You know how they always try to make it different and they're like maybe he doesn't win because he's like an aging race car driver. So let's try. Nah, they just make him succeed.
Okay, well, I guess that's the ending of the movie for me. I didn't know.
I mean,
that's all right.
It's not really a spoiler.
Okay, because I didn't know it was gonna be him or the other.
I guess I did spoil it, but
that's all right. Okay.
But it's nothing special.
Oh.
It's a movie that's made to for the visuals, for the racing.
It was
shot,
a commercial for F1,
scenes.
basically, for people to go watch F1.
Pretty much. But it was still enjoyable. Javier Bardem was really good in it. He's like the best part of the movie.
Oh, okay, good.
But it's good.
Okay.
It's a movie that it's good to see in IMAX. I don't know how good it's gonna play in like at home.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
But
yeah, it would make sense that movie looks better in large.
Yeah.
I saw Captain America: Brave New World. It's
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It feels that sort of Marvel, like, okay, here's another one. Here's the next one. Whatever. Here's the next one. Which I think you felt was different with the Thunderbolts. But the thing I'll say about Captain America: The New Brave, because the thing is, I thought the Captain America movies were the better ones out of MCU. If you aren't into the sort of like generic action superhero movie with the same sort of thing going on, I thought at least Winter Soldier was great. I don't know what you thought about that one. I thought Civil War was fun for what it was.
Those are peak
political thriller.
Marvel
yeah,
movies.
At least the second one was a political thriller, and the third one was. I think this was supposed to be a political thriller, but it was more of a piece of shit. I feel bad with with this actor who's now the new Cap, and just give him they're like, oh, he's got to be a special Cap, like where he doesn't need to take that drug to be superpowered. I was like, Captain America had the drug, just give this guy the drug. Like, what the hell is the difference? Whatever. It's a bland movie. It feels like a TV episode. The thing that I will say about it is, Harrison Ford earns every quarter of that millions of dollars that he got for it. The film is actually worth watching for him. He puts in a performance in this movie that I haven't seen. I don't think he even acted this good in Blade Runner 2049. I'm serious. Like I guess they give him more. He acts a little bit because he was down and out in 2049. I love that movie. That's a perfect movie to me. And he was down and out in Indy 3 and Indy Goes to New Jersey, whatever the last two movies he was in as Indiana Jones. But in this, he acts fantastic. You'll be surprised that performance is in that movie, because I was just like, what is this coming from? So I guess he must have had fun making it, because like you could see it within the actual performance of the film, which is believe me, I wouldn't believe it if somebody else had told me that shit.
Right. What about The Last of Us? Did you watch season
I have the
2?
season, but I have not watched it yet. Tell me a little bit about that without spoiling. I know the giant spoilers of the fucking game, but what about the show works for you? And did it fall off on the second season? Because people have been saying.
I mean, that episode. I think that was episode 2.
Okay.
That the big thing
happens, right?
Really brutal.
Right.
It's like I haven't felt like that since like a Walking Dead, early Walking Dead.
And you didn't know that was coming, right?
No.
Okay.
I didn't. I had a feeling, because I think it was like I saw a couple like comments and stuff, but I was like, nah, they're not gonna do this. And like even to the last moment, you're like, they're not gonna do this, and they do it. So it's like it left me feeling like I remember like early Walking Dead stuff when like they would kill off a main character, and it would just like affect you for the rest of like the next 2 hours or something.
Right.
That's how it felt. And it was a great episode because there was a lot of action going on, like a lot of big epic stuff happening. Then the rest of the season was okay. Isabel Merced isn't, so I can't complain. But
so apparently that's what happened with the game too, because the same thing that happens in the game, people were like, "Oh, when they played the second one, then that happened in the game." They were like, "But then again, games are. You think films are toxic? Games are even more toxic with the people that play them." And that happened. And the guy who actually, I think the reason why the quality of the show was good to people is because the writer of the game basically directed episodes and wrote the show too. And now he's left the series to focus on another video game that he's working on. Because I don't know if there will be a Last of Us 3 because there's a pretty definitive ending. But the series I think is gonna split into 2 seasons. They're gonna
focus
drag
on
it out, but I think they're gonna focus on the other character that was like the enemy and
the villain character.
It's so funny because in the game, the villain girl in the television series looks like the girl.
Like the girl in
the game.
The girl that
like,
she's supposed the main girl.
Yeah, she doesn't look like the girl who's in the game, who she's portraying is like a big muscle bound girl. And of course, the people online were going, "Oh, that's this type of character," but of course, whatever. How people
who cares?
Who cares about what the. I can't think of any other films that I remember. I can't believe. I'm sure we saw more than that. But let's get to 28 years later. Ooh, let's just go on. Let me hear what you got to say, brother.
Best movie of the year for me, bro. like this movie, bro. It exceeded my expectations. Absolutely. Like I knew it was gonna be interesting. I didn't know exactly if it was gonna. Danny Boyle was going to be able to pull it off because he hasn't really been himself.
Okay. What makes you say that?
Just his last few movies. Like he did that movie. It was that Beatles movie, Yesterday's. Have you seen?
Is that the one about the guy who makes up the Beatles music? Like he made.
Oh my god!
I forgot he made that one.
Sometime I saw that in theaters, bro. And the reason I saw it was because we went, me and my friend went, and we were like, what's, it's one of those things where you just go to the theater and go, what's playing right now? And we were like, Yesterday's, like, what movie is this? And then I'm like, Danny Boyle directed this. I'm like, what? And you just watch it. And it was all right. It was serviceable, but it was like, this is not Danny Boyle.
People were really offended because I guess it's a spoiler, but he meets with, I guess it wouldn't be a spoiler because it's like, he meets John Lennon because John Lennon obviously never got famous and got killed. Yeah. And people were like, "Oh, this is discreet." And I'm like, "Oh, like if you really."
It was a fun concept. It was a fun concept, but it wasn't that good of a movie,
Yeah.
So, and I know he did a series about the that band with Sid Vicious. He did it that I never watched.
Direct it?
I think he directed a lot of the episodes.
Oh, wow, okay.
Anyway, so I was like, let's see what he can do with this. And he just did exactly what he needed to do. He made it a Danny Boyle film. He made it feel like it was a continuation of the 20 days later.
And it's an Alex Garland script, so
it's Alex Garland script. So it's gonna be interesting and different and new and it's fresh. Like he's gonna do different things.
And I never saw 28. Was it Weeks Later?
Weeks.
I've never seen that film.
It's all right.
It's okay.
It's
I heard
all right.
It's good. But I watched this and it felt like a movie from the original was in 2002. It felt like a movie that was like in 2003. Like just the feeling of it and like the editing and stuff like that. Like when it would cut to older films, I was like watching it. There's a sequence where the father and the son are running on that little not a moat, but it was like
causeway.
And you see the stars and everything, and I was like, "This is the most beautiful thing I've seen."
It felt like it didn't take place in our reality.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you could see like galaxies in the sky, and I'm like, what? Like it looked like galaxies, but I guess it was like it just had a greenish. What is that called? Like the borealis?
Yeah, Aurora Borealis, right?
Yeah, it was like that, but it felt like it wasn't
magical.
realistic.
Yeah. That scene alone, I was just like, whoa, because then
that scene was amazing.
And then you see the tyrant. I mean, not the tyrant, but the guy just chasing them, and it was just like, because it's scary, but it's also beautiful.
The music they were playing was like this like operatic, nice music, and it was like, amazing.
Because I thought the focus of that film would be the young actor. Well, he's not necessarily young right now, but the actor Aaron Taylor Johnson, Jamie. I thought he was like the main guy that was going to be the whole film, but it quickly focuses on. I didn't even recognize Jodie Comer, who's a very good actress in her own right. Spike, right? Alfie Williams as Spike, and then obviously we get to meet Ray Fiennes later as Dr. Kelson and stuff like that. So and a lot of people just did not like this movie, and I
because they were expecting just carnage.
Yeah,
you know, and that's not what this movie. I mean, this movie gives you everything.
It does have carnage in it too, though. That's the weird thing.
It has the carnage in there, man. I'm like, this movie is fucking frightening, man.
It is.
It's like it's so disturbing sometimes, but it also has those moments of like these magical moments, especially with the music. Sometimes it has a Danny Boyle style music,
right?
Like that. I don't know what you call it, British trip hop kind of music.
Yeah, trip hop.
And then which works so well,
yeah.
And it just has everything. It has horror, but it also has beauty. It's like I didn't expect that to be in this film.
Like when we were talking about Caught Stealing, stealing. If it was edited this way or filmed this way, that would really make it feel like a 90s film.
100%. 100%.
There was just something about this where, Boyle locked in to whatever was...
He locked in and he went back to his old ways,
whatever he
man.
did back then, maybe 28 years is something that's... It's the one that broke him out, basically, right? Oh, no, he did the
28
beach.
days.
Did he do he did the beach, right?
Oh, no, I think Train Spotting was the one that
right.
got
That's
really
truly
noticed.
The one that blew up. But I think 28 years later was the one that made him, a name in America, at least.
Yeah.
Bigger than that in the sense that it was a genre film. And I think what happened is that it's such a fantastic film. People really hated the ending of the film because they thought it was like Power Rangers or crazy, which it is from surface level. Because obviously it's going to be a sequel, but people didn't know. This is already 2 films coming with your favorite director Nia DaCosta doing the second one. And I have hope because it's Garland, and I think this guy is. You're already like. Well,
I mean, I saw the trailer. The trailer looked good.
Yeah, it does. But it's not gonna have the same editing style or anything.
It's not gonna have it. It's not gonna have it.
It's
gonna look like a slick film.
We gotta think of the Obama posters and have hope for that movie. That's what they should just hope. Just for you, they'll put the poster in your house. But I think that Garland and Boyle will. Garland already I trust in Garland 100% with his writing, even if we had problems with Civil War or whatever or warfare. I trust his writing because I've seen in his film stuff. I didn't think Men was a good film. I thought it was an interesting film. I don't know. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I watched.
I thought it was interesting. I didn't think it was very good. I think it was him trying to ape another type of director. I can't think of the director that he would do, but it was just too strange for me. And I love strange films, but I always trust Garland's writing to in what was that movie with Natalie Portman? Apocalypse? No, not Apocalypse. What the hell was it called?
Yeah, which I saw recently again. And I didn't like it as much as I did the first time.
I thought that was the Annihilation. Excuse me. That movie had the greatest, to me, one of the greatest alien sequences ever of all time. When the alien is trying.
That part was cool.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I get it.
It wasn't as good as I remember.
So,
but this one, again, just had everything, and then it just, to be honest, it has one of the most emotional sequences that I've seen in probably maybe ever.
It for sure hurt me. It hit me in a certain space for sure.
Totally.
And it makes you think. It really makes you think about relationships and its thought on death. Because the first film, well, because I guess we're not counting 28 Weeks Later. I don't think that's canon anymore for this series. But the first film, it had thoughts of death, but it was more of the fear of death. And this one is more about the reflection of it's inevitable.
That's the
for
theme
all of us.
That's the theme of the movie.
It's inevitable for all of us, and you have to accept it, even though it's a tough pill to swallow. And a lot of us have swallowed a lot of tough pills in this world, and it doesn't seem like it's going to get any easier. But I think it was just gorgeous, and it moved me for a genre film. It moved me a lot, and I was just like the last time a genre film movie was Bridge to Terabithia, which is a children's movie, but it's one of the most brutal, like not like gore or anything like that, but it was one of the most brutal films about loss. Which I don't know if you've ever seen that film, because
No, I haven't.
you just you look at it from the outside and it's like this kind of cute Disney sort of film, but it's so good in its brutality about loss that I go to there's movie reaction sites and I just watch the same scenes over because it's like. And I tear up every time. That's the type of movie that is, and I would recommend anybody watch it. And this one for sure
movie,
is the same.
I've seen it already, like after the theater, maybe like 3 or 4 times.
Oh, great!
And that scene tears me up every time.
Yeah.
And it's hard for movies to do that, and I'm like, man, this is gonna get me forever, man.
It's a
like,
rough movie.
And just Dr. Kelso, right?
Yeah.
Kelson, his the things that he has to say, like that he's giving these lessons about death, and like it's really tough, man. And just seeing the visuals of like the bones, and it's like it's showing you right there like how life is so fragile. That like we end up that way, and it's like fuck.
And the thing is, it's been for years. Like it's like you think about everybody who thinks, oh, we're I'll think about this the next day. It's like, yo, we're not the first person to ever do this. You're not the first person who's had your heart broken. You're not the first person who's had a divorce. You're not the first person who's been hurt. You're not the first person who's died. You know how many people have died and the world has forgotten about them? That's us. And it's guaranteed at least in 100 years. Do you know what I mean? Like we won't be here in 100 years. And you think about it in that kind of.
I'm hoping on technology, man.
Well, we got those Neuralinks, bro. You'll be living in the computers.
Hey, what movie was? Oh, Alien Earth. Yeah. Like they transferred them into these synthetics.
They can only do it with 12-year-olds, so
I'm good with that, bro.
I think. That's another show I recommend, Alien Earth. But 28 years later, to me, it hops between this and Eddington, but I do think this also is my number one movie of the year because it instilled in me a feeling of like cinema. Like it felt like a movie I hadn't seen that came out years ago. And it was like, oh yeah, this is a great movie that I haven't seen yet. And when I watched it, I was like, wow, like it lived up and beyond what I expected for this type of film. So much so that I look forward towards the sequel, and hopefully the third film. The third film, I hope they do actually.
Me too. And I hope Danny Boyle directs it.
He is slated for the third one if the second one does good. So we could only hope the second one makes good. I don't know.
And this one, I know everybody was talking shit about the ending, like you said, but I love the ending.
Yeah.
I thought the ending was amazing.
And all those guys are based on Jimmy Savile, so we don't know what. If you know Jimmy Savile, he was this a very creepy piece of crap. If you look into the story, it's disturbing, but that's all they knew. So I don't know if Jimmy ever got caught. Like he
no. But that's right? Danny Boyle said it. He was like in an interview. He was like, we're working in the timeline of 28 days later in 2002 when the world broke. Yeah. When the world got destroyed, nobody found out what he did.
Yeah.
So in this world,
he's still a hero.
He's still a hero. And also it's connecting to the beginning of the film, which I hope a lot of people. I mean, I hope they pick it up. I did, yeah. But you know how people are. Sometimes they don't pick that shit up. Like, this is from the beginning of the film. He was watching the Teletubbies.
Well, people didn't understand the reason of the witch.
Cross?
No, the witch in weapons, like we spoke earlier. So people
they
probably just
didn't.
thought these guys came out of nowhere at the end.
I don't expect people to understand this. But it's a great
wrap around
going back to the beginning. You know what I mean? It's awesome. Yeah,
so
and the fact that Jimmy's out there doing he's been out there for a while. Mm-hmm. Like he's been out there for 28 years. You know what I mean? And now he's I love the scene when it's like a drone shot where you see writing on a building and it says Jimmy, so you know that he's been entrenched in this world for a bit.
Yeah.
It's great.
It can only give us hope for the second film and the third film, because the third film is supposed to be the one that Danny Boyle and Garland finished whatever version of this.
I thought you were gonna say Hope for Humanity.
No, there's no humanity with this movie. But I think that's that. Is there anything else you want to talk about or say about films this year that you thought it worked out for you? What were your top three?
Top three, probably. 28 Years, Sinners, and damn, I don't know what the third one is. It could be Eddington, but I gotta wait on that one because there's still
there's still a couple
left.
months left. We'll see if there's anything.
But
great
you
that
know,
comes out.
I watched a bunch of films. Like I went to
One
see
Battle
the
After
French
Another
Connection.
still coming out. So okay, French Connection. Is that with the Disney edit where they cut out the slurs? And
No, they didn't cut it out. This was at the Walter Reed Theater. They were doing like a Gene Hackman, retrospective because he passed away. I saw also Jaws.
Yeah.
In theaters, real quick. I saw it in 3D. I don't like 3D movies, other than like if they're shot for 3D.
Okay.
I have to tell you, man, this movie was amazing in 3D.
Okay. All right.
The 3D was amazing. Also, it was the way Spielberg shot that movie because
Spielberg
if you study a lot of Spielberg films,
Spielberg didn't fiddle with it like George.
No. I mean they remastered it for like the 50th anniversary, like the movie in general, but he didn't like change anything. But they converted it to 3D. But the way Spielberg is sort of a master at blocking, and he does a lot of stuff with like the frame where like things are happening in the background and in the foreground at the same time. And so that lent itself so well to 3D because it was not meant to be shot for 3D, but the way he frames stuff and blocks scenes, it works so well for 3D because there's stuff happening in the front of the screen and then it's happening in the back. And so I was very surprised.
Okay, good. A show that I gotta recommend that I saw this year. It's actually an animated series on Adult Swim, and I don't like just randomly recommend like animated shows because I don't watch many of them. It's called Common Side Effects. I know I've told you about this a while ago. Mm-hmm. To me, that's the closest show on television right now that feels sort of like Barry, where it's like specific genre series that is done completely seriously as a show. It's funny, and it's not awkward like you'd think with animation and stuff like that. It's actually like the same feeling that I got watching Barry, where it was like, oh my god, this is such a good show. Like that. That's how I felt, and that's so odd coming from a show like would think with sort of character designs and stuff like that. 100% recommendation. I've enjoyed Alien Earth as well. I don't know if there's any other TV shows I did watch. I'm a sucker for Dexter. It's a show that went down the toilet. The new series was actually had a fun genre change to it. I think that's it for that show. But I think 2025 so far has been good.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Can I say one thing?
What am I gonna say? No. Go ahead.
No, motherfucker. I was never into Star Trek.
Okay.
Like I watched some of the older shows, like the original series. Like
is it the brand new? I mean, what is it? Which one is it? The new series?
Nah, I watched the original movies.
Oh, okay, fine. I thought you meant the new
I got
TV
up to
show. Oh boy.
No, I got up to the fourth one.
Okay.
Which I remember seeing as a kid.
Is
it was
that
the
whale
one with
ones?
the whales.
Yeah, I remember seeing that one as a kid.
So I watched the first four, and they're really good movies, man.
Yeah.
I think the fourth one with the whales is my favorite because it has a lot of comedy in it. I don't know. I think you got to rewatch this movie.
I think
bro.
I've seen only part 4. I don't think I've seen Star Trek.
Obviously, I think the best one is Wrath of Khan.
Okay, yeah, of course.
That's what everybody always says. That's like the top one. It's great. The third one is good. The Search for Spock was also good. I was a little bit surprised that I enjoyed it as well, and I think Bill Shatner is amazing in it. I understand why he's so loved in that community.
Oh yeah.
He's awesome in the movies, bro.
Okay, good.
All the characters are like the main characters. But yeah, I don't know if I'm a Trekkie, but I enjoyed the movies.
No, there's a thing about Star Trek. Like, I wasn't like necessarily a person who ran out to go see Star Trek the TV series, but I'd leave on the one from the original series, the TOS as they call it.
Yeah,
and it's like it was the same vein of like original Twilight Zone. You know what I mean? Like, you know how well Twilight Zone was written. Like, you remember how like you'd watch and like, damn, this is good. Like, that's what I felt about original Star Trek.
Me too.
Me too. One time's like, and I could count the number of times I've seen The Next Generation, and I was like, this is written good too. Like, I was like, this is
it's good.
And I hear Deep Space Nine is a great show. I won't bother with the rest because I don't know. I know the names of Voyager and all that, but I know like I wouldn't bother with those. And but those for sure I know. And I think Star Trek is a very like when I saw the J.J. Abrams film, I had fun with it, but that was like Star Wars as Star Trek,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think it was fun for what it was.
It was more action, and that's not what they are.
Right.
Like those, especially those original
it's a cerebral
films.
series. It's a show that makes you think. It's supposed to teach you something.
I understand now what their purpose is. Their purpose is to like bring good to the galaxy, like to help situations. They're almost like saviors. They go around and they try to fix things that are going wrong.
That's also something. People. That's also something I think I recommended to you, which is the Orville, which is the Seth. The first season was like kind of anchored on his type of goofy humor, but I'm telling people, like, if you need a old school Star Trek fix, like it's just the third season. Like every episode is like nearly an hour and 10 minutes. Some of the best science fiction I've seen ever. Yeah. Now, no kidding, how well that show has become. Like, it's a show that got better with each year, and I can't recommend that show enough. Like, they only make new episodes for that like every 5 years, and I don't think they're gonna make. They might make one more season, but it is so good. I cannot recommend it enough. Like, it's just painful that nobody watches that show. But besides that, I think we've had a good year with film, and there's still some material left. I'm sure one battle after another. I've only seen good about that film. I haven't heard one bad thing about that movie yet. So that's a good movie to look forward towards. And I don't know any other film. I can't think of any other films big enough that are coming out. Do you know any that are coming out?
Oh, Avatar.
Oh yeah, obviously, Avatar, Ash and Fire. Fire and Ash, or Ash and Fire and Ash.
Fire and Ash.
So it's Cameron, of course. He's been working on that for like 50 years, so it's gonna be good. There's like no question, but it's like, okay.
But I'm glad he's doing that Hiroshima film.
I hope so. Yeah.
That he's like shitting on Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know if you heard his quote, that he was like, Christopher Nolan copped out when he didn't show like the app. I'm like, you know what? I kind of agree with him on that.
I thought that too. I think
me too. When I watched the movie,
it wasn't in the movie. Like, I was just like,
I'm like, like I get that he like put it in there through Oppenheimer, like that he was feeling the guilt of it.
But it was white people getting blown up. You noticed that, right? It wasn't like the Japanese foreigner person getting blown up to smithereens.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, man, he kind of deserves that.
We'll see. I don't know I gotta wonder what the framing of the story is for Cameron, but he doesn't miss. Like, he knows what he's doing. It's just a shame that I would love to see more movies through him, but
if he does it like obviously he's gonna use CGI.
Yeah,
there's no doubt. But if he does it a little bit more like how he did like Titanic, where it's like he's still shooting practical stuff,
right? Like
in real locations, mixing it with that. That's what I want to see.
So hopefully, he's a man who's. I think he's one of those guys that are such rigid that he'll live. He'll live long enough beyond that. He can make all the films that he wants to. So we'll see.
Totally.
So I think with that, is there anything else you can say about 2025 that you've seen so far? There's gonna be some good, hopefully some good movies coming out, good television, stuff like that.
Yeah, man. There's always good stuff out there.
Good. Well, we didn't do any ratings because who cares anymore about that? But I'm glad I had to talk with you. Hopefully, we'll do it again in another 7 years. We'll do another episode.
No.
But I'm sure
will we even be here? Will we allowed to even broadcast?
We have to talk about certain things, I guess. But anyway, thank you thank you for listening to our show. We hope you had a good time listening. We hope if you have any films that you want to talk about, leave them in the comments. And thanks again. This has been Kino Drift.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.